He is working his way towards a title shot in the UWC.
They could expect to see a human version of a pit bull out there. I mean, somebody who's just going to go out and it doesn't matter what the occasion calls for. He's going to be able to have an answer for anything.
Oh, my goodness! Marcus Foran making short, easy work of Chris Reedy.
Richie, I hope you're training, man. It's going to be a tough fight, and I plan on bring everything I have here in the Greg Jackson arsenal.
I'm coming with everything, and I'm not much for shit talking. I basically let my fighting do my talking for me.
We've been working on some technique over here, and Greg and I have talked about a few things, and Chris is really, he's an integral part of what's going to happen and how this is going to go down.
Marcus brings a lot to the table. He's got a strong wrestling background, but I think more importantly, the years that he spent in the military, his discipline is off the chart and his work ethic, and I think that he brings that straight from the military. But what I feel Jackson's offers Marcus is what he gets in his training partners. I mean, he's training now with the best in the world: Joey Villasenor, Keith Jardine, Rashad Evans, Nate Morcourt, George St. Pierre. He's just got fantastic training partners, and those guys, they bring out the best in you. We got a great group here, and it's hard not to get better training with the likes of those guys.
Well, training Marcus Foran is a real treat for me. He's a great athlete. He listens to coaching really well, and so we're just trying to work on developing his game. We're giving him kind of a personal growth plan, and hopefully he's adhering to it well. Well, I think in this fight coming up, Marcus is going to bring some new tools to the table, and he's going to have some old ones still. And this is a feeling out fight. We're going to see what he's made of. We're going to see how he steps up to that next level. We're going to see how he can perform with the new tools that he's been given, and hopefully, he'll give a great performance that night and rock and roll the way he always does.
Well, I started a new regiment with Maximum Nutrition. They were good enough to send me out a handful of products and supplements to take. The amount of energy that I have, gas in the tank, recovery between rounds, it's really upped my game quite a bit. The move to Greg Jackson's has been great for me. It's really upped my game. Again, being down at FIT and working with Tom and Arlene, I always give them a ton of credit because they brought me to where I was up until my last fight in the UWC, and that went really well. I just kind of felt like I needed a change, and over here with Greg Jackson and the Jackson team, I got the best fighters in the world to train with, and it's brought my game up 100 times. It's just been amazing.
Oh, Richie's a good guy. I mean, I've known him for the last 2 years. We've hung out together, and even before I started training him, we were friends before. And Richie's got a cool attitude outside the ring, and inside the ring, he's all business. I mean, he just changes completely.
It's actually a pretty funny story how I got into mixed martial arts. Originally, I used to weigh about 265 pounds, and I actually just wanted to get in shape. Like, I've always been competitive growing up in high school, and I wanted to do something that was an individually competitive sport, so I wanted to do jiu-jitsu. So I started doing jiu-jitsu, and then I had some encouragement to do some kickboxing, and then ultimately Rick Rufus opened a gym out here in Tempe, Arizona. I started training with him. Ultimately I wanted to do this to be competitive, and this was after all the weight started coming off. I started getting into good shape, and so I started fighting, and eventually I just kept winning, and became a career for me, and I decided to make the jump to train full-time, and that's brought me to here now. Being on The Ultimate Fighter, I mean, at the end of the day, there's anybody who has the opportunity to go onto that show leaves a better fighter.
Everybody keeps telling that Richie was, much more aggressive before than before I had him. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure there's no doubt in his mind, in his conditioning, to where he's not going to be stepping into the ring unsure of himself. So what we're doing is we're making sure that he's at 100%, 110%, so he can go in there and just fight, just go out all out, go if it's 3 5-minute rounds, that he could go 4 6-minute rounds. You know, it's just 100%, 110% the whole time.
MMA is exciting in itself. To watch me fight, you know, this whole sport is an honor for me. It's you know, the best way to put it is guys like me who are fighters, we're the lucky ones. Not everybody can do this, and we've been blessed and gifted. And you know, to come out to watch me fight is to watch someone who loves what he does and respects it and honors it. And you know, with me, it's I think it's going to be a great fight. I think, you know, I got a good opponent, and you know, I think we're going to really throw down. And with any good fortune, you guys will get to see some blood and guts.